The garden started off about 6 years ago when Peary Merriman came to me, who lived at Bowdoinham Estates, and wanted to have a garden for himself to grow vegetables. He asked me if he could start a garden on my property, and it was all just old fields. So I said, sure. He started the garden, and for a couple of years it was just his garden. Then he passed away unexpectedly, and we've continued it as a community garden. That's kind of how we wanted to keep the garden going and how we named it after him. The sign was donated by Banana Banners. You'll see it says Peary's Garden right on our shed.
At the BCDI Community Conversations meeting a couple years ago, there were a number of people who expressed interest in starting a community garden. And Brian volunteered his land, and I volunteered my energy, and that's where we met, actually. And now we've become
good friends,
great buddies. So Brian owns the land, and I do a lot of the behind-the-scenes coordinating.
She's the garden brains behind the operation. If people have questions, they can ask her. I just basically till and build fences and draw plots. And I think we're at 27 plots now. A lot of the things here are donated by people in town for us to use. This wheelbarrow came from Kate Cutco this year with a bad tire, which I fixed. The bench over there I got from the recycling barn and put a new wood base on it.
We get organic fertilizer and seedlings and all kinds of other things donated from local farmers. Fedco and Johnny's seed companies have donated a lot of seeds over the years.
People just help themselves to start their gardens, and this is what's been left over this year. But we generally have quite a bit from Johnny's and Fedco, which we appreciate very much.
The membership to have a plot here, it's a 10 by 25 foot plot. It costs $25 for the season, and that includes seeds, organic fertilizer, water access, tools.
10 by 25 seems to be about right for a small family.
I would say maybe half have gardens at home already, myself included. People are growing squash and tomatoes and potatoes and things that take up a lot of space that they couldn't do in a home garden. So this has allowed people to really boost what they're growing for themselves, which has been great, especially this year. I have a small cut flower farm, and I've put everything extra here. So I've got a bunch of mostly flowers growing here in my double plot.
Going to have the best melons in town.
Melons, Brian's growing beautiful melons under glass down there.
But these are both cantaloupe. Under glass with the railroad ties holding up the glass, and then the third one up on the end is watermelon. I've been doing it this way for off and on for 15 years or more.
The range of gardening knowledge is huge. We've got people that have never had their own garden and people who are professional farmers, so it's been a great mix, and people are really learning from each other. And I wonder if people have more time to garden because of the coronavirus, so they're taking better care of their plots. I know that's the case for me.
Hey, my name is Paul Garrett, and I have a couple of plots here. It's my second year in the community garden. I've run out of space at my own home garden, and last year I used this for squash that could sort of just spread out. I didn't have the room for things that would sort of ramble around the garden, so this just gave me more space. And I'm hoping maybe we can donate maybe a row or two of things to maybe the food pantry, or there'll be more than enough. I tend to be a bit of an introvert, so this at least gives me a chance to socialize a little bit too.
People that have plots here have families, so there are always kids here. We've got a swing and a picnic table, and people come and hang out, and we try to have at least one potluck at the end of the season. We'll see how that goes this year with the coronavirus, but we have intentions of having gatherings periodically.
There are so many wonderful people in town, especially gardening people, I've learned.
I'm Cynthia Harkleroad. I'm a retired person. I like to garden, and I have clay at home and lots of critters, and so I do much better over here. This is a full-size plot, and it's enough to grow as much as I need to. I don't really can or any of those things. We just eat it fresh out of the garden, put some in the freezer, and if I've got extra, I give it away. Came back in after all the rain and found that Brian's done enormous things with the fence. He does a lot of work. He runs the tiller around in the springs so that it's all, rototilled, ready to be, manured and planted. And that's very nice.
Part of this was selfishly, I just wanted more space to grow food, but it's turned into something much bigger than that, and I think it's become a really great way for Bowdoinham residents to have access to their own food stability and be able to grow their own vegetables and fruits and everything.
Yeah, it's just worked out well, and the community spirit, and it's been a wonderful venture for all of us, and I think everybody enjoys being part of it.